Today we're exploring abandoned buildings in Highland Park, Michigan. Highland Park is located inside of Detroit, and since 1930, more than 80% of its population is left. Why have so many people left the city? For one, a loss of jobs. Ford sold their Highland Park plant in 1981, and years later, Chrysler moved its headquarters out of the area as well. The population declined even more after the 1967 Detroit riot. Highland Park has suffered so much that in August of 2011, over 2/3 of the streetlights were repossessed because the city couldn't afford to pay its monthly electric bill. Then in 2013, Highland Park was sued for over $17 million in unpaid sewage and water services. Now, I can't speak for the entire city, but for the parts of Highland Park that I did explore, it was a little bit rough to say the least. I explored a few buildings here, the first being the Glen-Villa apartments. The complex was built in 1926 and initially had 4 stories with 76 apartments. This building sits across the street from the former Highland Park High School, which I also explored in a previous video. In February of 1993, these apartments caught on fire. The damage was able to be fixed and further renovations were made beyond that, but unfortunately, despite all the efforts, the apartments closed down in 2014. 2 years after closing, the building caught fire again, but the problem was that most of the fire hydrants in the area were either broken or couldn't provide enough water pressure to do the job. It took the firefighters a long time to put this fire out, and because of that, the building suffered a lot of damage and has started to collapse in on itself. Because of all this, there's not much left on the inside. I did go in anyway, and I'll show you guys what I was able to find. I started off by going in through a window to one of the rooms. So I went down some hallways. I was able to find a room that still had the stove in it. They even had glasses and plates in the cupboard still, and there were even a few cans of food in there as well. Next, I found this room that was full of pipes, and it had a lot of various shelves and a lot of odds and ends. This may have been some sort of maintenance room. Other than that, I couldn't find much else in this building. I couldn't walk through most of it. This next building we're gonna see, it was in much better shape. It had a lot more left in it. Let's go check that one out. I had a hell of a time finding information on this next building. I ended up having to do a reverse image search on Google, which came up with this website. As it turns out, this was an assisted living facility for senior citizens called the Royal Nursing Center. I used the location on the website to double check, and sure enough, this was it. This is the nicest one I've seen yet of today. So this building had a pretty cool layout to it, and the best part of this explore was getting onto the roof, which you'll see soon. Right now, this is several people's homes, so that's why you gotta be careful when you explore places like this, guys. This is where we start the journey to the rooftop. Some people would say that getting onto a snow-covered roof of an abandoned building is a bad idea. Thank you guys so much for watching the video today. I appreciate each and every one of you. Even those of you that say I should be arrested for trespassing, leave a comment, share the video. As always, I'll see you guys next time.